Namaste. Welcome everyone to this satsang with Mooji Baba here in Monty Sahaja. And a big welcome to all of you joining us also via live broadcasting. As you know, you're very much here in the room with us, and it's a joy to be able to welcome you in this way. For those joining on broadcast, we want to let you know that we're translating live into several languages today. Those are Czech, French, Italian, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish and Turkish. So quite a few today. It's very nice. And to listen to the translation, you need to click on the little flag relevant to your language on Mooji.tv. And for those of you in the room here, I wanted to get a little bit of a sense of, is there anyone here today for whom it's their first ever satsang? Maybe you've just come with a friend, or first ever satsang, never watched any satsang with Mooji Baba before. There's still quite a few. Very nice. Thank you. It's always very beautiful to welcome new beings here with us. And also for those who have been to satsang before, are you all familiar with Mooji Baba's guidance, the invitation? Or is there anyone who's not familiar with it? Okay, no, that's good. Very nice. It's just nice for us to get a sense of where we are and who's new. It's very beautiful. So if you're very new to satsang, or you haven't been for a while, we encourage you just to marinate in the energy field of satsang here. If some questions are coming up and you don't really understand what is being talked about, that's totally fine. The questions often get answered in the course of the satsang. So just kind of let yourself settle in a bit to the space here before coming forward to ask something. So as we all know, satsang is very much an auspicious opportunity to bring forward our burning satsang questions. And really, this being the last Sunday satsang scheduled for this year, we really encourage you to find those questions, really the ones that you feel will set you free completely, freedom questions. So of course we all have a lot of love and gratitude for Mooji Baba, but really ask those questions that you know, if this is answered, that's it. It's done. And you're also asking for all of those joining via broadcast. So thank you for that. It can happen sometimes in satsang that some restlessness or agitation comes up. It's perfectly normal, perfectly fine if that happens. If you're with someone for whom that's happening, just accompany them outside. Just ask you to do this so that we can keep the space nice and quiet in here. And we also would like to ask you to please remain in the hall until after Mooji Baba has left. So today's satsang, we will have the first part of satsang, and then we'll have some music. After that, Mooji Baba will leave. And for those of you who are here, you're welcome to go and have some chai and cookies at that point in Little Jamaica. So we'll have about a 15-minute break, 15 to 20 minutes, and then Mooji Baba will come back and we'll have what we call tea satsang, which is where he would read some of the letters that come in. As I mentioned, it's the last Sunday satsang of the year, so that means the schedule is totally free going forward, but that doesn't mean everything stops. Continue to, follow the pointings to really marinate and digest the seeing that has been shared throughout the year. If anything, as soon as anything comes onto the schedule, we'll do a little mail out and put it on the schedule page on Mooji.org, so you can check back there from time to time. I can tell you about one thing that's coming up. This is especially for those joining on broadcast. Also, that Mooji Baba has been working on a new book called An Invitation to Freedom. It's a very beautiful little pocket book to carry with you everywhere, which takes you through this beautiful guidance that he's been sharing. And that will be available in around 2 weeks or so in our online shop on Mooji.org. It's also available as an audiobook, and it's beautiful, beautiful. A little word about donations. We wanted to take this moment to really thank you wholeheartedly for your donations. They really support the sharing of satsang in such a beautiful, big way, and it's really very humbling that there are so many beings who feel moved to donate. If you do feel to donate, you're able to do so on Mooji TV and also Mooji.org. Again, big thanks for that. Thank you, everyone, and Mooji Baba will be with us shortly.
Okay. Oh, namaste. Welcome everyone to satsang today. And welcome, of course, those who are joining via broadcasting, that you can share satsang in the same time with us here in Portugal. So big welcome for you. And before we start to put our hands up for questions and such things, perhaps we can just spend a few moments in silence. And not just a kind of blank silence, but very much the silence which is the fragrance of presence itself. By presence, I simply mean when we are not engaged so much about our person, you're simply here and you're just resting in the presence that is conscious of itself right now. Just a few moments in the supposing there was no next, not a next moment to come, or a next thing to perceive, that there's only just this, whatever this would be. So that there's no waiting, no anticipation of what's to come. Because that is one of the mind's key functions. Okay, what is to come now? Expecting. But for a moment, we just suspend or postpone that tendency and simply be. Simply here. How would it be if there was no waiting and no expecting? So we don't have to imagine because you're here. And there's something in this that largely we overlook. That it is possible to function and to move in life without the mind always being in gear. First gear, second gear, third gear. Moving. There's something very important, very beautiful, very profound when you allow your attention to simply acknowledge this natural silence in ourselves. Don't let the mind tell you, oh, you're wasting time. It's the best use of time. It's so good that if you simply stay here without trying to get to the next moment, time may altogether vanish. Meaning the obsession with time and activities and the sense of doing. I don't know of anywhere in life that really encourages us to put a little bit of attention in this space of being. Almost every place we go to, every institution, every place, the mind is activated into doing and identity. So for this reason, I ask just for a few moments, just to simply put your attention nicely, without force, just on the sense of being, without judgment. And without even the sense that there's somebody doing it. Simply discover what is here, uncreated. Okay. Now let's see what questions will come. Okay, you can put. You come. Yeah, yes, you. Thank you.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
I'm here with how to say, my body is in a very bad condition. I was talking to you in Rishikesh about cancer in this body, and that this brought me also to Rishikesh,
Yes.
which is very good. And I had a few encounters in Rishikesh as well with you. And at one, you, by my request, put your hand on my head where the whole cancer started. And you said one thing in satsang to me that's still very much in my heart when I remember that. This is, I chose you long ago, you said that. After Rishikesh, this cancer came back with more force. I had more operations, and I had radiotherapy and other treatments. And although under this radiotherapy and the other treatments, the cancer, and also after this operation, the cancer is still growing. It must be very strong. So, yes, I'm here with this. And by the way, I'm here with this urge to really use this time well, because I don't know how long this body will last.
Yes.
I really don't know. And there's not such big fear of what is coming yet, still. Although the other things in the body are starting again, like asthma and stuff, and really many things, something with the stomach and side effects of radiotherapy, and I don't know what it is in the end. I can just guess it. And so sometimes I thought I would have been going a lot of this way to really to, how to say, to finish this. I don't know how to, I don't have words for that. But to finish this, or to the realization of this, I had sometimes a little bit this sense. But
well, you know, I'm hoping that today will be a very significant day.
Yes.
For whoever has that urge inside to awaken. Because I would like to think, I don't know if I'm assuming too much ahead, that everybody who came here, maybe of course some people came out of some form of curiosity or something, but my feeling would be that most people come, and if it were presented to them that it was a possibility to wake up to what I feel you are speaking about, to wake up to our inmost truth, our inmost being, and if it were felt or presented to you that that is possible today, would you be open for this?
Yes.
I imagine so. You see? And without any gimmicks at all, because it is tried and tested. I felt also from Rishikesh this year, it emerged very powerfully, because for some time I have been sharing satsang, speaking with beings from, I'm very, very much privileged to have met beings from all over this planet who have similar urge and concern to wake up to the truth of who we are and why it appears to be so difficult. And having seen with total clarity the naturalness of what we are, I don't even want to call it easy. It is beyond easy. It simply is and has always been. Yet it felt very challenging, very difficult to convey to the beings who seem to be feeling separation from it, or that they have a hint, or they've had experiences in the past, but we're unable to really be centered effortlessly into that state, you see, or a stateless state, because it's beyond states actually. And it was troubling for me, because so much through inquiring and people surrendering and prayers and everything, and still it felt there must be some way that it would become more simple in its expression than I have found it up until that point. And I would have to say it is by grace that it has emerged, this present unfolding of grace in terms of guidance, which I feel and I've seen that hundreds and hundreds of people are discovering it more and more. So today, seeing also it is for the moment will be the last, open satsangs for some time. That it will be a very important time to present it to you. Many of you already are inside the seeing already, but there are many people who may have heard of it, some maybe not. It doesn't matter. What is beautiful about this guidance is that even if you were an atheist, you don't believe in God, you may still discover something very profound today. And this is why I am so happy. Of course, no one can guarantee that somehow your mind will not rebel and react in such a way, and while I'm speaking and trying to guide you, it's going blah, 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 so that you don't hear, because these things happen also. But if you are open to it, and that urge is within you, the urge that brought you here, then I feel then today we stand a very good chance to at least, I don't want to say taste, because tastes come and go. I would like you to experience that which does not come and go. In fact, it never even came, much less can it go. That which is permanently here. Nothing else that you perceive through the senses or the mind or through imagination is permanently here. Everything else is a cloud passing. What witnesses cloud passing? Is that passing also? Yes, relatively to the passing clouds, that which is watching clouds passing also passes. Something even earlier than that, which itself is not affected by time or change. That is the most profound discovery in the human kingdom, I would say. Discovering which, it will automatically bless every aspect of your expression automatically. That I can sit here in front of you and say this with full conviction in my heart, and I stand with it also. Let's see. So I won't waste any more time just singling off one question here, one question here. So perhaps to be comfortable, I would ask you to sit again, and so we can all look together with this, if it's good. Okay. Thank you so much. I don't think any question you put is going to be more important than what I have to share right now. I would like to invite you into that. After, if the question still persists, then we can look at it. You see? Because why I say this? Because the answer will be an experience for you, not just a verbal answer, you see. And if you really recognize what I am guiding you to, it will be the master key to all your questions. If your questions are those in search of truth. If your questions is not about the search for truth, I don't think I can help you today. Maybe another day. But in the short time we have, this is going to be the best way of spending it for now. We are good?
Yes.
Thank you. So I'll go forward now on this premise that, let's say, you have come and you have asked, Mooji, I heard that you perhaps can help me. I want to wake up truly to who I am, because I feel that I'm not living the life that is really truthful. I'm not discovering the peace and the joy and the happiness that I hear you speak about. And my life lived as a person, it's not really working. It kind of works, but it is not so profoundly beautiful like you say. And I know inside that there must be a life that's higher than this. Maybe hidden within me, I don't know. But when I look at some of the people who follow you or whatever, I see that they exude a kind of joy and a peace. I don't know if they're pretending or what, but it feels true. I would like to feel that peace and that joy inside my heart, and the joy that doesn't go away. A peace that doesn't go away. Is it possible? Is it possible? And can you help me? You see? So in this simple question, I hope it kind of frames roughly how we may feel about the possibility of awakening. So then my response is like, I'm in this space of my own being right now. I'm in the room of my own self. And you have knocked on my door. I say, come in. Okay, come in. But before you do that, please leave your shoes outside, like you did when you came into this room. Please leave your shoes outside. And another thing, one final thing, I say, please leave your mind outside. But then you respond and you say, but how can I leave my mind outside? This I've not been able to do. I came to you to help me to do this. And you're saying, leave your mind outside. So I'm saying, well, don't worry, it's not like that. A simple thing. What I mean by leaving your mind outside is that please let's not talk about the past. Please let's not talk about past. It's not necessary. If freedom is what you want, you don't have to fill me in about your past history and so on. So we will not speak about past and about your memories and what you did before. And once you had an enlightening experience some years, and we won't speak about it. Can you agree with this? Yes, okay. And I said also, in fairness, we won't speak about future also. Because nobody knows future. Okay? It's largely a projection of our mind, and it is never going to be the way you imagine it to be. So let's not waste time speaking about future. Let that be a discovery. Can we also do this? Yes. We are good. Okay. And I'm happy that you respond, because there is a point where I'm going to check in with you, and I'd like you just to speak from your heart what come. So about past, I say please don't speak about past with me, and about the future, such as, in the future I would like to live in this place, and I'd like to have a family, and I'd like to be this type of person. No, don't talk about this. You see, because even to hold these ideas may inhibit your discovery. So I want your mind to be completely empty of intention and past. Is fair, and we can do this? Yes. Okay, nice. And then I say even the present moment also. Any thoughts that are happening now in the present moment, please don't engage with them. You really don't need. Okay, just be empty. Is it possible? Yes. Only for the duration of this exercise, of this invitation, which will only be a few minutes. Can you suspend our engagement about our person and the past and who owes you money and what you want to do in the future? Can we leave this alone for a few minutes? This is good. Then also whatever attachments and desires and dreams, anything that your mind is engaged with, can we just leave it for a few moments? Yeah, so that you're here, you're still here, aren't you? If you leave past, future, even present moment thinking, if you leave these, you're still here or not? Yes. You're here, so good. So that's all we want, just you now. And as I mentioned even earlier, no next, okay, now I've come, I'm empty, okay, now what? So don't even think now what, simply just be here for a few moments. We are going to leave all your stuff outside. And I'm going to guarantee that at the end of this discovering, you may go and pick your things back up. So all the stuff about the past and the future and the desires and opinions, if you want them back, I guarantee they will be right where you left them. Nobody's going to steal them. Okay? So, just this, you are here now. So I say, come in. You're nicely empty, and just you're here now. No imagination needed. No visualization needed. So don't worry, you cannot fail at anything. You're not being asked to perform anything. Simply you're here like this. Not going forward, not going backward. Not thinking or engaged with thinking. You're simply here. Not waiting. I simply want to bring your attention just to this space of being, this environment of being that you are now. You are empty of time and past and change and thoughts about future. Don't worry, it is quite safe. We are not going into any states of hypnosis or asking you to be anything at all. You are simply here. Simply pay attention just to this present, this environment, this sense. I call it the isness. I don't want to give it any religious names for a moment. Just this field of isness. You are aware? Yes. So I had to ask you to follow my guidance, and so that you could come here, you could be in this place. So now, this that is here, this environment, this feeling, this state, this field of being, it's just beingness. Is it personal? No, not personal. Is it a thing? Is it an object? No. Okay. You don't have to concentrate. You just relax. You're simply here. The naturalness, you see. Okay. Does it have any shape or size or color? No. So could it be, say, photographed or captured in some way? No. Can it, this space itself, this, whatever you may call it, vibration or isness or this field of being, that is you're experiencing now, can it be sick? No. Can it be depressed? No. Can it be for or against anyone or anything? No. Can it be manipulated or controlled by anybody? No. For instance, can it belong to any person or any group of people and not to others? No, nothing like that. Does it have any desires? No. I want you to be really present here because I am not going to repeat it. No. Did it come from anywhere? Can I hear a response? Did it come from someplace? Can it, say, fade or go away? No. Because where could it go to anyway? Is it something that you are making up, you're imagining? No, it's not imagined. Does it have any age? Like how old is it? Does it have any age? No. Can it be affected like by the... Does it have a kind of astrological preference or sign or something? No. And is it masculine or feminine? Not that. Okay. Can it be attacked? No. Was it born? What about at the back? Anybody with a response? Was it born? Okay, here's a challenging one then. Can it die? You're sure?
Yes.
Whoa. Okay, what about this? How close is it to you? How many, is it centimeters or meters or kilometers or miles? How close are you to it? No distance. Okay, let me just try and recap what your responses are. It is not an object, you say. It has no color or shape. It cannot be captured or photographed, for instance. No, it cannot be doing that. It cannot experience sickness or... Can it suffer? Or cause suffering? No. So it cannot become depressed, it cannot be sick, it cannot be manipulated or owned by any person or group. It did not come from anywhere. It cannot go away. It cannot fade. You sure? It cannot fade. It cannot fade. It was not born. It's true? Yes. And you say it cannot die. Well. Then I ask you also, how close is it to where you are? You say, no distance. Is it still true? Yes. And I've not heard anyone say, well, I think it's like this, or no, maybe. Your answers seem very clear and simple, like it's no distance from you. So if these things are true, if your responses to these questions are true, then you can only be referring to your own self. I say it again. You can only be referring to your own self. Formless, without suffering, cannot be sick, cannot be depressed, cannot be manipulated, unborn, imperishable, no distance. Is it true? Then who is this other person? Who has all these problems and just don't know, I can write a list of what is wrong, and yesterday and last week, and I was born this time, and I'm 36 years old, and I'm a mathematician, and this one, no, I'm a lawyer, and this one, I'm a thief, and this one, who is that? And is there anything that is consistent in that sense of personhood? Is it not always something changing, outgrowing one kind of identity, assuming another identity, like a continuously changing self-portrait or something like that? And also at the same time feels completely natural also. How do we relate? In what way is this isness that we all seem to have a common experience of that, but you say it is not separate from you? How does it relate to the life of the person, you see? Because it has been asked, but it's wonderful to see this, and I asked you, did you imagine it? Did you make it up? You said, no, I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up. But how can I get that to integrate, or how can I balance the isness with the wasness? No, with my person? And I say, don't bother about it. Keep trying to just to be with that feeling of isness, that sense. Is it a feeling even? Is the isness a feeling? No, it is. Is it even intimate? Because intimate means the closest. Is it close when you say it's no distance? My God, do you realize what you are discovering? Is it still true? All one needs to do is to marinate your attention at the place of the isness. Meaning what? Just be with it. Don't try to figure it out with your head. That's how we got in trouble in the first place. Just feel what it's like to just be. What does the isness do? So does it mean that, okay, the isness doesn't do anything, so I am not going to do anything? No, it is not like that. Don't figure it out. Let the natural yearnings and the movements continue your life as much as it needs to unfold, but pay attention to this isness and see what is going to happen. What will happen is that the more you simply rest in the isness without asking for your mind's interpretation of it, the more you're going to find your life becoming more sweet, more peace, less worry, fears, fear about dying, fears about living even. All these things will somehow find their natural place. It is like a fruit that keeps getting sweeter and sweeter, but never becomes oversweet. Can you imagine a life where every moment is your best moment? I am speaking on your behalf for a moment until you can confirm it for yourself. What does it mean? This isness, what is it? Is it a disappointing discovery? Have you unexpectedly become a member of some organization? No. So this isness is simply inviting what you may call yourself, that still feel there's me and the isness, although you say we're inseparable. So these seeming inconsistencies, something will take care of them as the isness continue to pervade the sense of the person. The person is a very fragmented state of consciousness. It is a state of consciousness, but it is a very limited state because the consciousness identifies with the body, which is the instrument that it needs in order to enjoy experiencing, or enjoy or suffer, or you may say to taste experiencing. It needed body, but identification arises where it feels I am the body, and once that is believed, other conditionings can come in, such as I'm a man, I'm a woman, and all these things, and then environmental conditioning, programming enters into the play, and it becomes very, very complex. Person is quite a complex expression of consciousness, rarely stable. But yet its root is pure consciousness. Its root is the isness. inseparably the isness. But once the person idea is formed from consciousness, it seems to forget its original state. Now you're aware of it. Does it have any value? Now the mind will come and say, listen, I can help you out here. Leave it to me, I'll sort it out. But the advice is, just keep marinating in the state of isness. Feel how it is. Stay as the isness. Does the isness have any problem in itself? You're losing your voice, I think? Okay. And does it have any worry? But when the attention goes back to the sense of person, the person can have different worries, different problems, and it seems to have many things it remembers are not working and has to fix them and so on. Is being in the isness, is it cheating? Right. I mean, is it being very irresponsible? Because somewhere from the psychological mind, it's going to keep telling you, you're escaping from your responsibility. Which is what? Which is to be worried, to be anxious, to constantly identify with someone who is unworthy or overworthy or whatever way the ego plays. So something is going to start to acclimatize to the sense of isness. We don't need to say, okay, there's nothing I have to do, nothing. Leave everything to be natural. Leave it to the isness. Let isness be your business. Okay? You're just going to pay attention, and not just blindly. It has to be somehow featuring more in how we experience our existence, experience the life. It must have an impact. Resting in and as the isness itself, have you felt more peaceful and content and open than you do now? Yes, yes. When will it stop? Do you hear what you're saying? When will it stop? Never, never. Isn't that incredible? Time will tell. Because somebody is going to pop up and say, yeah, but it was all right when I was in Montisage. I could really feel the isness there. But it's gone. Can't find isness. And who would that be? Who here said it cannot go away, it cannot fade, it cannot suffer. Oh my God. Who is suffering now? I don't know. Where's the isness? I don't know what's going on. Is it really up to this character of a person, to remember the isness? Because the day you forget the isness, you're again back in the wasness, basically. Well, this play may keep on happening for a time. But gradually, because you are now aware not as a concept, but experientially aware of the self, you cannot unsee what you have seen profoundly. So it is not that the individual remembers the universal, though it might feel like that, but that something has awakened. Your natural remembrance, let's say, because I would say even the isness cannot be remembered or forgotten. But then you say, yes, but I remembered it. I forget. Who is I? Something apart from the isness? It must be something arising in the isness itself. Does the isness have any boundary beyond which it is not? Come on, you can answer. Come on. Yeah, no, it doesn't have any boundary beyond which that's the end of isness, and over there, I don't know, that's some other place. Can you answer this question or not? Yes. So, if there is someone who has lost the isness, where is the location of this someone? Outside of isness? Right. So if it is inside of isness, it is also observable. The sense of the person saying, oh, I've lost the isness. You see? So the sense of loss and the one who says, I've lost, are also clouds passing. Could it be? Yes. Observed by a deep intelligence or deep seeing place in which this character or characteristic is then perceived as itself, maybe as a thought. Can it be accepted though? Because largely we believe our actuality and factuality of ourself is personhood. We believe that this is the kind of person I am. This, Can a leopard change his spots or something? You see, we have very strong ideas about who we are. But those ideas we cannot keep. They keep changing by the force of life. Compels us to change. Experiences compel us to change our outlook. So something is always changing. And yet these changes are observable. If the changes are observable, is the one who changes also observable? Yes. By what is it observable? Take a moment. If the person that feels like a fact even says, yes, I can see the isness. I can see the isness. I can see the isness from where? From where am I looking to see the isness? Isn't it an illusory identity arising in the isness itself? Yes. I don't know if you catch up with your answers as yet. But gradually, the way for this is as you just keep your attention just on the sense of isness. Is it a thing? No. It's as though the isness is sensing itself through the idea of a person, which is also isness. In India, you may have heard Jiva is also Shiva. Jiva means the individual self. It's also the universal self. But largely they are left as words because no one has really exposed the words or that the words combust into spirit. They maybe stay only as intellect spiritual intellect, but as experience. It has to be experience. Is the isness a belief? Right. I have you on record. Touch him, he needs to wake up. I don't want him to miss. You see this one, touch him there. Yeah. Hello? Because this is also one way that the psychological mind sometimes diverts your attention to false sleep. Sometimes when you're meditating, fast asleep. And we know, don't we? Yeah? Yes, so even everything, every concern, every activity in the human kingdom is being expressed inside the vastness of the isness. Can anything exist outside of the isness? No. Does the isness have inside and outside? Very good. And again, no separation? Don't know. Someone don't know. I don't know if there's separation. Okay. Someone said, I don't know if there's separation. You can perceive it. Yes. She says, because I can perceive it, so I don't know. This is interesting point. I can perceive it. You can perceive it outside of it? No. No.
Yet I perceive it.
Yes. Say again what so everybody can hear.
I feel as inside.
You said, were you one of the people who say it is beyond the feeling?
No, I didn't answer.
You didn't answer. Okay. Now answer then.
So I feel it. It's inside. It's outside. It's limitless.
Yeah.
Yet
Which means
it.
if it is inside, outside, and limitless, and you can perceive it, are you limited? And I'm asking you, no?
Yes, of course. And
Yeah.
this is where I feel.
Yeah.
In between the frontiers, you know.
And why do you have this feeling? We'll tell you this, because you still have the imprint of personhood inside your answer.
I know, and I cannot get myself out of it. That's why I'm frustrated.
And who is speaking now?
Both.
Both.
I want to say both. Read.
Both, yes.
There are two voices.
Yeah.
One over the other one.
Yes. Who sees them? And this is why I say to you to sit with it without trying to figure it out. Of course, something wants to because it feels uncomfortable. Did I just say it is infinite? How do I know that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I'm only asking you who you are, the one speaking now.
I'm the universe. I'm the universe. I'm it. Of course I'm it. I cannot deny it, but I don't want to say but. I don't want to say but.
I don't want to force you in any position to speak prematurely. If you don't feel this, it is fine. Just, have you found out enough about the isness to want to be with it?
Of course. That's why I'm frustrated.
Can you lose it?
I'd love to.
You would love to lose it.
No, not the isness, the person.
Huh?
Not the isness, the person. When you
The
say
person.
would you love to lose it, are you
Yeah.
talking about?
the person. You're speaking, would you like to lose the person?
Yeah, because there's a battle right now.
Because now once you discover the isness, which the person mode of consciousness has been in a resistance to discover his isness root, and now you discover the isness, the person is going to feel like a little thing. And the person now, you are saying, whoever you are at the moment, saying, yeah, but I want to lose it now. I've had enough of the person now. I want to lose him. Is the isness saying, I need to lose the person? How many people are there in that house? So it is a natural reflex to go back to the, yes, but I'm seeing it, and I keep asking you who are seeing it. And you must now qualify yourself. You must establish the substance of you. Who are you to speak like this now, you see? And if you cannot say, you can sit and try to understand what, or simply be with the isness. It is not a copping out. As you stay here, a maturing will continue in your dynamic expression called a person. A maturing will be happening here, but this maturing is not happening for the ego anymore. You see, it is the isness in its expression as individuality. It's not the same as the arrogance that comes from ego. You see? Because it doesn't have, can the isness be disgusted or disappointed?
No.
Like, what have I done? No, it cannot be. Okay? So therefore, everything, including illusions and delusions, it creates them somehow. Don't get lost down in a rabbit hole now for a moment. Stay just in the field of isness for now. Get used to just being the isness. And if there is any genuine, so-called genuine problems that you have, you being the person, of course, because can the isness have a problem?
No.
Yeah. And that's why I'm asking you, have I just helped you to discover the biggest excuse? To say, well, I never did anything at all. I'm the isness. Or something. Or, I can't have responsibility. I'm the isness. This isn't have. Of course, you will not do that. You won't do this. Try and see what happens. You will not do it. So you stay with this and let it reveal itself in you as you. Because for now, the you is still kind of person. You're like a flying fish now. You're in the water and you're in the sky at the moment. So the meaning that we have still the virus of personhood in us. At the same time, you have this unlimited, infinite field. And how can the two live together? You might have heard that they are one. How can they be one? So these things, you don't force yourself to understand them. Your place is simply, you are in a state of joy in the isness. So continue to enjoy. Just that, and gradually you see how it features in your daily life. Is good?
Yes.
So should we go back to domestic problems now? You look like you need to say something, so you better come and tell me what you have to say.
I'm here for this.
Yes.
And I've been here for days. Like shaking so much and like I don't know how to explain, but so many ways of joy and praise. I just feel that life is in me. And of course it's not the first time. But my body, I feel I need your guidance. Mm-hmm. Because it's always shaking.
Mm-hmm. Is the shaking a problem?
No.
No. Okay.
But
I mean, socially, it might feel like a problem.
Yes.
But because, sometimes it happens like that. We don't know. We are not just, you're not just bread and butter, There's a consciousness is manifesting in so diverse way. And in some forms, it behaves like this, another one like that, one like this, one like that. So varied, for its own joy, and this diversity is beautiful. You see? So, we vary in expression, but we are one in essence. Why I asked you to just leave and pass and all these things alone, so you could just be empty of them, so you could be again easy to recognize the isness of yourself, meaning beyond your person. You left your person outside. And I said to you, if you want your person back, it will be the same place you left it. You can pick him back up again if you want. And in each one, it is manifesting. We don't know, in one person, they come to a seeing, and they're laughing. There's no joke, it's just laughing. Another one crying. Another one shaking. Another one speechless. Another one faints. We don't know. Another is like this. It happened, it is all part, but it's not permanent. The response to the seeing is not permanent. So like this, we're accustomed to seeing this, you see. The body is moving, it's like some energies are coming up, some old trapped energies are, some things that were hidden inside, now they can't hide anymore. It's like hiding behind a sheet of glass. They can't hide because the light of the isness fills everything. It's beautiful, you see. It's a deliverance. It is like it's burping up all kinds of stuff is coming out. You don't have to figure it out. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need anything. It's just like by itself. It's coming out like this, all this. And you know what? It's just fine. Maybe for a while you're in your room. If you're lucky to have a room, it's really good. And just but something inside knows it is just fine. I just don't want to be seen like this, but inside all is fine. I remember also one time we were in Ukraine or something. We were in a space having satsang like a big theater or something. And while we were speaking together, people were, one another one, another one, another one, another one. And we were asking, okay, bring them, because it was too far. So we're bringing these people on the stage, like this. And one by one, I'm asking, what's happening with you? Freedom. Another one shaking. What is happening with you? Happy. So it may not look outside, people going, oh my God. I want to be free, but not like that. I don't want to be seen like that. Could I be taken off film, please? And all this kind of stuff. So it is just that. It is not anything dangerous at all. If anything is dangerous, it's ego. Your freedom is not dangerous. To whom will it be dangerous? Maybe dangerous for the ego. If you can say. Even dangerous, I don't want to say. The egoic idea and identity, it will just naturally be fading in its influence now, as you are discovering your true nature more and more. More and more. Without getting sweaty and hard work, you're not have to go and live in some cave with tigers coming looking for food and stuff like that. You don't have to be doing any particular spiritual gymnastics. Just sitting, listening, following inside, feeling the resonance of what is being pointed, and yourself confirming it is so for yourself. It's not a test. But a test is good because it gets you to really look and to, oh, whoa, That which millions of beings are searching for, you are discovering today. Then you can begin to understand my joy. That just in following, did you imagine all of this? Did you make it up? No. Did I throw some magic powder in your face or something? Did I hypnotize you or something? No. So from your own place of seeing, you're confirming what? Can the isness grow? He said it's already expanding. What is expanding is the sense, and it will continue feeling like an expanding. It's like the expanding of consciousness, the expansiveness of something that felt like it had contracted, now is feeling like it's expanding. How can infinity expand? Something yet is expanding. That which contracted down to the size of a person is now expanding again into the infinite self. You all don't look so happy about it, though. What to say?
Thank you, Mooji, for all the grace that you give us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Yes. We may go through what may seem like processes or deprocessing or whatever you may want to call it, where for a while you may feel some cathartic responses are happening. It's all fine. Some inner spring cleaning is taking place. Some dust is blowing about for a little bit. Everything settles down nicely.
I would like to thank you with all my heart. I'm so grateful. It's so spacious time with you. You give us your entire existence. You save us from hell.
All this I can tell you is from the love of God. All this is from Him. All this is a demonstration of the love that created the sense of your life and gave the power inside to reflect, to some introspect, to search. All of this is in the great play of life, you see. And now the liberation is in the recognition that had we not woken up from this sleep, we could continue dreaming new problems, new episodes of problems to come. But something is cut, and it is cut in the place of the isness. This is why I ask you, are you merely imagining this? When you leave here today is Sunday, will Monday be different in as far as the isness is concerned? No. Will you say, oh, the isness was really, yesterday it was 100%. Today the isness is 65%. Mooji, I have 35% missing, and I don't know where it... You see, because mind will create all these things. It has in the past. The most powerful is the feeling of separation from what you are. And now you are discovering what you merely imagine. You imagine you were separated from, or that you lost it, or that you never had it in the first place. And something is waking up to that. And why I say, actually, like today, we are going to begin at the end. I started with many people are here maybe for the first time. We are beginning at the end. Because normally we go through a lot of sieving out and gratering and stuff and zzz and everything, and then finally comes, yes, thoroughly liquidized now, Mooji, thank you so much. But from the outset, the invitation was presented so that you can experience the naturalness of it. That you did not create it. You cannot do anything for it. It does not need your help. You see? The rest is only in the theater of consciousness, where we each have a sort of our own little identities playing and so on. Everything is resolved in the isness. If there's any difficulty experience, is where somehow some strong rigidity is still present, where we are valuing the ego, or that it is so much, I would call it an infestation of delusion, that it doesn't even allow you to listen. And when the exercise is finished and everyone is feeling, oh, wow, thank you. You go, what? What was that all about? Sometimes things play like this. Sometimes it plays as disbelief. Well, I don't believe that. But I don't agree. I don't believe. You don't agree. I don't agree with this isness business. And you are who? Speaking from where? I am me, speaking from here. That's fine too. We're not here to win converts. You say you're thirsty. You can only be guided to the river. You drink. You see? And isn't it wonderful to see a human being coming into the recognition of their timelessness? Yes, because until now everything is time-bound. Whatever you see on this side of the eyes, time says, that belongs to me. Whatever you see through the five senses and the powers of imagination and the mind, time says, all this belongs to me. I eat all of that. I eat all of that. And even what's on behind the eyes, in the realm of thoughts and feelings and sentiment and memory, time says, that belongs to me too. And even you who think, I can do what I like and I don't believe, I believe. Time says, I eat you too. He can only admit there's one thing I cannot eat, and that is awareness. I can't eat him at all. He eats me. He turns time into timelessness. How old is the isness? Did somebody say it's no distance? How old is that somebody? The person is time. But inside the heart of the person is the timeless. And the person is the seeking instrument, the role that consciousness is going to play in this game of hide and seek. And when the apparent person who is in time discovers the timeless, what happened to the person?
It doesn't exist in the first time. It's nothing. It's like an air, it's nothing.
It's nothing. You see, you have to go through all of this to see he is nothing. But when he believes in himself and you call him nothing, who you're calling nothing, huh? You see? But only you now, you can say, he's nothing there, he's nothing here. You have earned the right to see him as nothing.
Some words come inside my heart.
Some what come?
Some words.
Some words come, yeah.
And I wrote it down. Can I give it to you?
Okay, yes. Yeah, see, what is it now? It's very hot in here, isn't it? Okay, you can sit with me a little bit there. I am not spaceness or stillness or emptiness. I am not joy, harmony or peace. I am not love. Not what is one? I'm not what?
Bliss.
You're not bliss. Or I'm not bliss or grace. I am just here watching my own beauty. I have no desire to create anything or give birth to anything. I don't know anything about appearances or phenomena. I don't try to be or not to be. I have no intention to create, provide, or hide. I have no aspirations, no hopes, no future, even no life. I don't ask for anything. I am not lacking anything. I am not receiving, not giving. I am no thing. Therefore, I am beyond time. Birth, life, and death are only appearances in me. Nothing belongs to me. Nothing is me. I am everything, and everything is me. You say it's true. Is it true personally? No. Thank you very much. If it was true personally, big trouble. Big trouble if we say, Yes. So therefore, you have heard the saying, there's only one of us, isn't it? This comes from this one. This can only come from this one, or from this oneness. when the sages, when they spoke, they were not teachings, they were just the spontaneous utterances that come up out of their joy, their bliss. Something comes, blah, 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 blah. Became food for the whole world. Because in the mirror that is themselves, everyone could see themselves. Isn't it? That is what the true being is, that in their presence you can see yourself. You don't have the feeling, I'm seeing other. Sometimes you may look at them, you feel there's nobody there. That's a reflection of you also. Does it hurt? No. This is why you hear people say, I am walking, but I'm not walking. I'm going, but I'm not going. I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing. I say, these people are crazy. What are they talking about? Why do they talk like this? Only from inside the experience itself, you can say it is true. Something is talking, but something is not talking. Something is doing, but also not doing. It seems like a paradox, but internally it feels totally harmonious. You see? Doing yet not doing. Going yet not going. Very good.
I would like to confirm something to see if my thing is true.
Okay.
It's like a recognition here that there is only...
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. There is only one source exists, and this source is only options.
Only?
Only. Like, I don't know how to say it. Possibilities. All the possibilities in life, in the past and present and future, of all times is already here. And everything sprout from here to life, to anything like planets or bodies or objects or everything. And there is not animate and freeze, like the animate and they stayed alive. Even the stones.
Well, even you say that the thing springs into life, comes into life. But before they're sprouting, where did they come from? Must be from life itself. It cannot be from death. Either from non-existence, you can say. You can put like that. But if it comes from the isness, what you can say? Everything is naturally taking form, playing as form, like waves, and subsiding again into the formless. Yes, it is.
Nothing lost, nothing die. All come back and. But there is one thing which not subside, not appear and subside. It's the place of sin. It feels like, I don't know.
It is the very nature of the isness, if you're speaking about the capacity to perceive. Even the capacity to perceive. And if you speak about to perceive, what is it that you perceive? Is it otherness? You see? Then here we, of course, is something different from me. I perceive it as other, you see? And Papaji say, if the hand puts food in the mouth, should the mouth say, thank you, hand? No, it is one action, isn't it? And so gradually that which is functioning inside as being I and other, experientially, the gap closes, you know. Maybe verbally we speak like that, but deeper down in our heart, we know there's not really two. The one is appearing like two, because without two there cannot be experience.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So.
And the field, I feel like there is a source, and the space of watching is like the body of the source, or the eyes of the source.
Yes.
Through it, the creation can be experienced. Otherwise,
Yes.
nothing.
Yes.
Nothing exists.
Yes. We can put it in a simple way. Supposing now an author writes a book with many different characters in the book. All have different names, have different roles. Okay? Can you imagine that some character in the book says, listen, guys, I want to meet in secret out of the perception of the author. Okay? Come this way. Okay? And this is my idea. I originate this idea. Okay? So I want to share my original idea with your original idea. Okay? And we are going to appear in another book. Okay? So can any of the beings have that autonomy, actually? You see? So everything that arises from the isness, or experiences, or is expressed in the isness, is produced by the isness, is the isness for the isness. Maybe that's the more simple way I put that. The people say even one of the characters don't believe there's an author. He is just my idea. Even, you see. So each character, in their diverse expressions and different beliefs and opinions, are only the creativity of the author. Even the one who says, I don't believe in God. I don't believe there's any such thing. My parents created me. Whatever it is that appears in the book of life, it is already written by the author. But this is not any ordinary book. This is a living book. And each character in this book has the same DNA as oneness with the author himself, and can find himself, itself, herself in harmony with that field. Because the Supreme Being is not a thing, it's not an object. It is the one subject permeating all apparent individual and separate objects. We cannot study this with the mind and you come to merely a mental conclusion about it. But if these things are felt to that they're needed to be experienced here, they will come in their own time. You don't even have to go hunting for that. There's more important things than this to discover. Discover the isness, be one with the isness, somehow, just be with it, and it will somehow merge your seeming separateness into that unicity. In some instruments, it will plant the seed of arrogance and so on. It will plant another one, the seed of humility. In another one, the seed of curiosity. In another one, it will plant the seed of miracles. Another one, it will plant the seed of silence. And each one maybe for a time. We can look like that. There are other paradigms of looking. They're also from the isness. It is one, known by very many different names, but it's always one. Pure intelligence must perceive this. Pure experience verifies this. No one can insult the isness. Can the isness be depressed? Oh, one of my creations just insult me. Why they have to speak like that? We are growing back into our original being, so to speak, experientially. You're growing more back into the likeness of the original self. We still have the virus of personhood in us. But now, due to your own profound seeing, that delusion cannot prevail. It will not throw you into another body if you are resolved in your discovery. That may appear as another choice. That, yes, I'm not so attracted to that, that's not my way is more this or something. This is perfectly fine. Everything is fine, actually. The Supreme Being is not waiting. I called you, you didn't come. Oh, never mind. It is somehow like this. Thanks to you. And what is beautiful is that even through this screen, wherever you may be, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of miles or kilometers from this place, because we are speaking inside the isness, inside the infinite itself, you are just the same one who it's speaking to inside your heart. It is the same freedom. There's not an overseas freedom and Monte Sahaja freedom. It's the one freedom. It's the one seeing. It's the one grasping. It's the one liberation. It's the one coming homeness. Isn't it wonderful? Did I exaggerate when I said to you, today could be that day of a profound understanding, a grasping of your own original nature? I cannot even say that it is closer than intimacy, because that's still only close. Is the isness close? Hello? No. Okay, good, thank you. Just checking, some people sleeping or something, I don't know.
But it's kind of weird, like we are this, no doubt.
It is true that you discover we are this, but still at the same time we have to grow into it experientially. You see? It's not enough to say, yeah, look, I'm the isness now, I signed the deal and everything. No, you know, throughout life, throughout life, it has come from the self, has always been sending little hints, little clues, so that we develop our discerning power to appreciate, to recognize. This is why I say, God gives you bread, don't ask for toast. You make toast. Meaning that we have a role in this play of seeking and finding, that the more there is within you, the urge to discover, you see, then you feel the clues. And what does it do? It develops more our internal sensitivity, our sensitiveness to hear and to even one day say, actually, God is speaking to me directly. How? In English? Yeah, don't do that, go there. Maybe you can do this also. But just in your intuitiveness, in your harmony with life, because you have listened, you have felt, you see, and you can read the language of the vital force. It's not just the words you hear, but you hear where they come from. You understand the energy field in which the actions come. You're not because, that's what you're studying. You come to know this also spontaneously, but just as if you fall in love with someone, you try as best you can to find out what pleases them, isn't it? And we try to make them happy because you become happy. In the same way, you are looking to see, how can I grow even more in the likeness of this? You're feeling the clues of life and you follow them. So this is a kind of maturing. A maturity is happening against a background of unchanging isness. Does it make sense on any level? Yes, because you have a body, you have the breath. This is the vital force, the prana, the animating power in the universe, the breath of life. Once the breath of life, the body is there and consciousness is there, you will have to use your intelligence to feel life, to come to appreciate life, to love it. When Jesus said, trust in God, trust also in me, for I have overcome the world. What did it mean? He has not left Palestine. I hear he's been to Kashmir and all these things in India. Okay, even if so, he didn't come to Jamaica. I don't think he went to America, Scotland. What he means, I have overcome the world. I've overcome him here. That which speaks through here, who is speaking to me as a person, I have transcended that voice. Because that voice wants to keep me as a person rather than to awake to my original being. And this is why there's so much resistance also. We experience so much resistance when we are searching for the truth, and all kind of strange things are happening. And many people, they give up because they say, my mind becomes even more strong. Why is he becoming more strong? You know why he's becoming more strong? Because his existence is threatened by your wisdom. You see. He's fighting for his survival. And it will not willingly cooperate with anything that threatens its existence. That is inside the play. You think, but why did God allow? Because you are greater still. Why? Because you are already the self. It's just that you are unaware of the obviousness. So it's only obvious when it is obvious. Isn't it? If it's not obvious, it feels that, it's so difficult. When it becomes obvious, you are just laughing, you're laughing. How could I have been so foolish? How could I like this? So this sense of retaliation, resistance, even attacks from the mind, from the psychological side of the mind, is because you, the self, are waking up to the truth of who you are. And there's a power there that plays to try and keep your attention fixed upon only daily things and look, is inflation is coming and the price of petrol and, my daughter is... and just to fix your attention only here. These things, we have to deal with them as well. But not instead of the recognition of ourself. And when you recognize what it is that you are the imperishable, then fear will go. Fear will go. You see? Many things we picked up in life and we embrace them like they are truths, but they are delusions and illusions. And we took them in, and they've formed deep impressions within our minds and consciousness. Then we came to believe them to be true, and you believe them into existence, and they become our experience. It's not that another beautiful thing I want to tell you, you don't have to go and put every single thing right. It's too many. Now you have found. Honor what you have found. Stay with it. Appreciate it. Acknowledge it. Love it. Be it. The rest is, all that stuff amounted to what? It's nothing. It's no big deal. Our minds turn things into a big deal. Even to be speaking about my mind, my mind, my mind. What it means when you say, oh, my mind is my mind, means your own creation. There is the mind, you may say, is one, it's impersonal actually. You can call it the mind field, if you want. Dual meaning there. But because we develop certain characteristics, certain concepts, we attach more importance to them, you develop a particular way of using the mind. And then you say, it's my mind. It's a kind of mindset. And your mindset is not you. Therefore, when you wake up to the truth, much of these things just start to fall away because you don't feel vulnerable anymore. You can see now from the place of isness, do you feel vulnerable? And that is going to grow somehow. That's the expansiveness you speak about. That something is going to expand back into itself. Win-win all the way. Of course, Mr. Mind, so to speak, is having none of this. He's going to come back, he's going to bring his friends and aunties and relatives to sabotage your chance of freedom. That's the play. It is also illusory, but if we have strong fixations in our personal identity, then the voice of the mind will seem even more real. As you recognize the isness of your being, that voice will reduce in its influence and its power over you. Do you see this or not, though? Yes. So the isness is impersonal, but appearing personal. That's why I said to you, actually, we don't know what really a person is. And I said that, like Rumi's words, he say, we feel that we are a drop in the ocean, but in fact, we are the ocean in a drop. How can you understand this thing? as you begin to comprehend the majesty of awakening and the isness, these things that seem impossible begin to connect inside your heart. You feel the truth of them. So we are coming, as I said, today is formally the last satsang for the moment, Sunday satsang. And it was my wish that it would be a satsang of the stature that it is today. That I could speak to you from the isness, as the isness, to the isness. Okay? Good. Thank you. Because what would it be if I speak to you person to person about personhood? Where have we come? This is our everyday experience. But now that you are recognizing but the field of the isness, you cannot come to the end of the isness. You cannot come to the end of the isness. It means you cannot come to the end of you. But your person is starting and stopping every day. But what you are is unbroken reality as the isness. This is the invitation, you see. Have you accepted it, you see? Yes. Have you accepted what you have discovered, you see? Yes. Then honor it. This is the true self-respect. To honor that. Because forces will rise up to create doubt in the mind and say, oh yeah, it felt different when I was there, but now it's all this. It's just the mind coming in. It's always old news. For you now, what mind brings is like somebody giving you last week's newspapers to read. It's all old stuff. And in the freshness of the nowness of is, that which truly is, beyond belief. That I say that it is a fresh gift of grace from God to our world. That without strenuous striving, it came that an opportunity to look. And are you looking into otherness? The important question, are you looking into otherness? Is isness other than you? No. Again, not sure. You see. Because of culture and conditioning, something in us feels like, wait a second, this is maybe too easy. Where is the catch? Where is the catch? Maybe as I walk out of this place, poof, well, you're going to have to try and see. See if somehow there's some kind of spiritual temperature that keeps going down the further you walk. Oh my God, look. It's almost gone. Yep, there it goes, it's gone. Thanks to you. I want to say greetings to all the sanghas around the world who are joining in today, and I know that there are many people have come together today in whichever part of the world you are to be joining this satsang. So we're very, very much embraced as one family, one sangha field. And it is my joy to share with you because maybe onwards from this point, if you feel that you need further support to it, there are quite a number of videos online around the invitation and questions that come up. You see? And I gave, in the past, I've been giving this kind of example, a kind of metaphor about how things may feel. And one of the things I said is that in many countries, perhaps in your own country, you may have experienced that there may have been a change in currency. In England, we experienced it before, from pound, shillings and pence to pound and new pence or something. From other people, from lira to euros or something like this. And what happened is that when such a thing happens, the government says that from such a date, the old currency will be redundant. We won't use that anymore. We are going to be using only euros or something. But for a while, there's a changing over where people are not able to evaluate in the new currency. You see? So very often the same material is on the shelves, the same food stuff, the supermarket has the same food, different price on them. But it's the same food. And now each one, you are not used to the new money, so we tend to try and see what that corresponds to in the old money. So we say, so how much is this? This says 3 euros and 50. What does that mean in pounds? Check it out. Okay, it's quite reasonable. So for a while we have to refer to the old currency because that's what we are familiar with. But gradually, we acclimatize, we adjust, we stabilize in the understanding and find the value inside the new currency. Now, some people, even after the old currencies are not acceptable in the bank anymore, they're still thinking old currency. And that's the way things are. You may find that children take quickly to the newness of things. Why am I using this metaphor? Because sometimes we keep going back for reference in the old regime of the old identity of personhood. And that will happen for a bit. But something is going to be outgrowing the tight garments of personhood. It's feeling the immensity of the beingness. It's feeling the immensity, the unboundness of the isness. It's becoming comfortable in its new realization, you see. And so the old way, that was much more like a struggle, is freed up. For a while it can seem, it's like we are crossing a bridge and something keeps going back and coming back. If you keep going back, going back, it's as though the bridge keeps extending. Maybe eventually you want to build a house on the bridge. I say, don't build a house outside the gates of nirvana. Don't be happy with that. You find that which you have found now, keep finding it fresh. Stay with it. Yeah. And as I said, you can find further support by watching some YouTubes about it. They are quite free. You listen. This satsang today will be online for a while, that you can watch if you have not understood or you think, I didn't get that, you can watch it again. If you have that earnestness for self-discovery. Maybe if you don't, then you don't. It's fine. But if you do, you'll know where to go and it will take care of your life. Trust it also. Trust it. Don't trust your mind so easy. It is not your friend. Not yet. When you have transcended its influence, then it can come back in as a servant, no more. Gradually you come to see mind and self are the same thing. Natural mind and self are the same thing. But when we are waking up out of the sleep of ignorance of the true nature, for a while we may feel a bit vulnerable, a little bit lost. Don't worry. Like Rumi say also, the one who brought me here must take me home. So, thank you. As I've shared before, thank you, that I say that may each one who has inside their heart a longing for this freedom, who recognizes the limitations of egoic identity, and who has this longing inside the heart, or at least this openness inside the heart for freedom, may they come to the full awakening, to the full realization of the self in the heart, and be timelessly free and happy. And very good. And may their light shine beautifully in this world. And may all who meet you on the way of life be touched, be inspired by your openness, your wisdom, your silence, your peace, your joy. May they be so impressed, so touched by your presence that they are compelled to search within themselves to discover the light that they see evidence in you, and so find peace and joy for themselves also. May truth become contagious again. They say that this is the age, Kali Yuga, is a difficult age. But in this so-called difficult age, the grace of God has also produced a great opening, a great door, so that wherever you may find yourself, right there is the door to your inmost being. So we have so much to now be grateful for in our life than merely to sit and complain about. Be free from judgments towards other beings or other ways of praising God. And be open and continue to blossom and bloom in your new discovery, so that you find your own timelessness. Greater than this, I don't know. Greater than this, that human beings can again discover something tangibly intangible. To feel it beyond feeling. To recognize it beyond form. To know it beyond otherness. To be it beyond duality. I don't know another easier way for the moment. So, all glory to the Supreme Being. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, can we have some who is playing today? After we have a bit of music, which I would love to invite you to enjoy also. And then we will have a short break of maybe 15 minutes or so, where you are invited to take some chai and whatever else that's been prepared for you. Those of you who have to leave now, farewell, God's blessing, full peace. May you find the rest that you have been searching for. And for those of you who would like to still be here, we take another short time to look through some of the letters that come. There are always something very nice or strong about them. It's a time that I have to look through some of the letters that come here, and we read together and so on. Some enjoy this time also. You're welcome to come back after tea, 15 minutes or so, and we can continue having fun.
My shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He leads me along the right paths for His name's sake. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He leads me along the right paths for His name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, no evil. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, no evil. For You with me. For Lord, You are with me. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He leads me along the right paths for His name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, no evil. For You are with me. For Lord, You are with me. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He leads me along the right paths for His name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, no evil. Mooji, You are with me. My Lord,
Thank you. Yeah, thanks to you. Thank you.